presidency is getting more and more agitated about war. He's all more for peace nowadays somehow. Like last time, he even asked Putin, to write out when the war will finish and how.
Yes, yes.
Agitating.
Right.
You can see through the presidency is really a peaceful inner person. It's his quality.
Yes.
Yeah? You can see very well. Because normally Russia is supposed to be China's ally, but the Kremlin is going in the opposite direction of peace. So this man, he's not human. Haven't told me like that. He's not human.
No, cannot.
You can see it because humans don't do these kinds of things. I say he's possessed, evil, the devil. He sold his soul to the devils. He can't just leave people alone and let them feel peace or let them have their own country to do their own business.
Yes, Master.
It seems like there's such aggression. If Boris Johnson comes back to be Prime Minister or not, that's up to the party and the people of England.
Yes, that's right.
Up to also their karma, whether or not they are good enough to have him back.
Yeah, that's true.
It's their loss, not his loss. The Prime Minister got kicked out of office and many resigned just for that piece of birthday cake. My God, there's no humanity for government officials or what.
Please continue watching to find out more. On Monday, January 16th, 2023, during a work-related phone call with a Supreme Master Television team member, our most compassionate Supreme Master Ching, vegan, while still in a meditation retreat to uplift the world, graciously shed light on some recent news coming from China, the United Kingdom, and more.
Hi, Master.
Hi.
How is Master? Is everything okay with you?
Thank you for asking. Thank you for caring. I'm not sure if I'm okay. Sometimes it's just overwhelming, but I still continue to work. What to do? It's not just the work, it's a responsibility, feeling, and too much suffering in the world, too much suffering, humans and animal people, too much suffering. And it's just, I don't know how to hide it from them.
Right.
Master. War here, war there, war everywhere,
Yes, that's right.
There's quite some news recently, I read and I feel also, sometimes I'm happy, sometimes sad, it depends. Did you read anything that affects you?
Yeah, there's a couple of news to report that I've seen.
Yeah.
Like, for example, President Xi is distancing himself from Putin and his war. And Chinese officials say that Putin is crazy and China now believes Russia will lose in Ukraine and become a minor power. Yeah.
Wow, President Xi is getting more and more agitated about war. He's all more for peace nowadays somehow. Like last time, he even asked Putin, to write out when the war will finish and how.
Yes, yes.
Agitating.
Right.
You can see through the presidency is really a peaceful inner person. It's his quality.
Yes.
Yeah? You can see very well. Because normally Russia is supposed to be China's ally, but the Kremlin is going in the opposite direction of peace. You see?
Right, yes.
Yeah. And anything to make war, to make suffering, atrocity, and war crimes like that is against even the core of communism.
Yes.
Yeah. Communism is originally to try to make people happy, especially the victims, the poor people.
Right, yes.
So the Kremlin, under Putin, is doing all the opposite things, oppressing the poor, defenseless women and children and raping them and all that and robbing their things.
Yes.
Robbing their harvest and all kinds of stuff and bombing them in winter, letting them freeze. They want them to freeze to death like that. This is beyond inhumane,
Yes, true. It's terrible.
Oh my God.
Yesterday's wave of missile strikes caused further damage to a power grid that was already afflicted by previous Russian attacks. The new Russian strategy responds to losses on the battlefield with a targeting of gas, water, and above all, electrical infrastructure designed to harm millions of Ukrainians as winter's cold begins to bite.
This is part of the power grid that was hit during one of several waves of airstrikes since October. Russia's aim seems to be to try to freeze Ukrainians into submission.
This is the way they want it. They want to make all people die or run away so that they can take the land. But what for? You kill everybody and then you rule whom?
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't have any co-citizens, what for? You become a king or president of whom?
That's true.
Even if you seize their city, their village, how do you feel good about it? Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
So this man, he's not human.
No.
Haven't told me like that. He's not human.
No, cannot.
You can
be.
see it because humans don't do these kinds of things.
Yeah, that's right. It's true.
Even the fierce animal people, they only kill one or two when they're really hungry, and that's their job only, yeah? They don't just kill anyone or any time en masse like that, and for no reason.
Yes.
This is beyond evil.
Hey.
And that makes me suffer so much. Because of the war, everybody is scared, and this fearful energy is disturbing me as well. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
I'm very
I can
sensitive to the environment or to the energy, and their suffering makes me suffer. Their fear makes me fear.
Yes, Master.
And then thanks to all this war and shortage of food and energy, many people die. Even in peaceful countries, die from hunger, die from the cold, because they can't afford the prices, which are skyrocketing everywhere
Yes.
due to shortages because of the war. Even some places in England, some people can't afford to pay electricity and they have to choose between heat or eat.
Oh, yes.
I read that. And I read in one news somewhere, one woman, she cried her eyes out because she needs £10 to pay for electricity, otherwise they would cut it off.
Oh.
I didn't know how to help her. I wanted to help her so much.
Oh.
I didn't know how. I don't know how. I'm all alone and I'm not good with all this, how to find out things.
Yes.
And I'm overburdened with business inside and outside already also. Yeah, I wish I could have helped her. I hope because it's printed on the news, so maybe the citizens around will help her. Normally people would.
Yes, Master.
They also have food banks and all that. Even nowadays, there are more food bank people than before the war. It's not normal anymore.
Mm.
And because of the war, our work also became, in some ways, disturbed and had trouble.
Right.
And I became like homeless.
Oh, Master.
Because I have to keep running,
Oh.
Not running, actually, but I have to protect myself and protect all the workers in different ways because of the way we work, what we do.
Yes, Master.
It's not like if you want to help humans and you say the truth and humans will like you, love you, and follow your advice. It's not like that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have crucified Jesus or wanted to assassinate Buddha and many other masters,
Yes.
in a gruesome way, in a cruel, horrific way.
Yes.
I wonder why any master would still come to this world to try to help humans. I wonder why any master would ever want to do this kind of thing. Bringing harm upon himself, humiliation upon himself, all kinds of wrongful accusations upon himself. Yeah. This war is not simple, eh?
No.
It's there to kill. Either they say they kill because they are fascists or whatever, or they kill because Jesus taught good things.
God.
Either way, you do bad, they kill you, or they wrongfully accuse you saying that you're bad, then they can kill you. And then you do good things, you say good things, and it's so obvious that it's all good, they also kill you.
God. Yeah.
This war is very dangerous, and I don't know why any master would even come down, or will come down again. I don't understand why people still want to make war instead of just being grateful to have a better life, a more convenient and more modern life to enjoy.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't understand why. Of course, you can blame it on the world's karma, collective karma, and the people who are selling their souls to the devil and hurting the world's co-citizens.
Yes.
You can only blame all that. It's only devils who drive humans, any human, or at least just a human body and human mind to do it.
That's
They
right.
sold their souls to the devils. Otherwise, they couldn't do this. Like Putin can't. Nobody can do that. Even his friends, his colleagues, and his allies all turn against him now.
Yeah.
Turn against all these brutal leaders or these war inciters.
Yes.
Oh my God, it was so unimaginable. It's the 21st century. So many masters came and went, and there is so much luxury nowadays to live with, and still making war, making people suffer like that.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
The death toll rising to at least 29, one day after a Russian missile obliterated the 72-unit apartment building in Dnipro. Officials say at least 40 people remain unaccounted for. The explosion turning the complex's courtyard into an apocalyptic moonscape. Survivors screaming in terror. Tonight, from that smoldering pile of broken concrete, rescuers pulling out a human miracle. Those Ukrainian rescuers gingerly cradling that woman. She's in a neck brace and hypothermic after more than 20 hours of exposure, but alive. Tonight, we learned that this young woman, captured in that image, perched on a concrete ledge, clutching her phone, is recovering in a hospital, only to have learned both her parents died in the explosion.
And then even still in their infants, their orphans, their babies, their children, and their women, their citizens, they just kidnap them and bring to Russia.
God.
We went to investigate claims Russians took much younger children from this orphanage in central Kherson. Natalia, who lives next door, says she watched children as young as 3, 4 and 5 being taken away by the Russian military.
Of course I'm worried about them. They're small children. They're just abandoned children. We do not know where they are, what happened to them, or where they were taken.
Ukrainian authorities say Russians took 48 orphans aged 3 to 5 from here. They say 13,000 children have been deported or abducted by Russia during the war. Only some have made it back. Among them 14-year-old Vlad, who says Russians tried to indoctrinate the Ukrainian children they'd taken.
They said Ukrainians were Nazis. They said Kherson is Russian, that Crimea is Russian. I started to be a little afraid because I wanted to go home and I didn't want to stay there.
Ukrainian officials say 97 orphans were taken by the Russians from the Kherson region alone.
Why didn't he just bring those so-called pro-Russians with him? Bring him there, give them a piece of land somewhere, make them a king or separatist president or whatever. Who cares? Russia is big.
Yes.
Why put the pro-Russians in Ukraine and make it a separate country out of their own country? Why separate people and separate their country like that? He has a big country. Russia is big. Why doesn't he do that? Why come and steal their country's citizens and cities and make so much bloodshed like that? For what?
Nothing.
If Putin's going to live forever, maybe you can say, oh, yeah, why not? But nobody lives forever. Why in such a short life? Why don't you just enjoy what you have?
Yes, exactly.
Go out, traveling, go see other presidents, go see other countries, beautiful places, and enjoy your money, your luxury. People offer you a lot, you have everything you want, anything at all. Why make other people's lives miserable and your life also risky and miserable?
Yes, exactly.
Unless truly, like Chinese officials and President Xi said that Putin's really crazy. Sadistic.
Yes, exactly.
But I say he's possessed evil, the devil. He sold his soul to the devils.
He has.
Some people do that to get rich or whatever, or to get healthy, but they're wrong. The devil cannot do anything for you. He might promise and maybe does a couple of things, but you can't live forever anyway, and you have to pay back whatever you got from him.
Yes.
Remember the story I told you about the singer, that he said he worshipped Satan. Ozzy Osbourne, yes.
yes.
He said because he worshipped Satan, so he doesn't get COVID. Oh, he got it so quickly.
Exactly, yes.
And then his wife and family also got it, for example.
Yes.
And recently, before I heard that he's sickly, seriously ill or something like that.
Oh.
I thought I read it in the news. Maybe so. You have to believe in yourself, that you have God within you, and you worship God and try to unite yourself, your spark of God, united with God.
Yes.
Then even in this lifetime, though you're not in heaven yet, you'll be happy like in heaven, like many of your brothers and sisters, so-called my disciples. They are happy.
Yes.
Because they experience it, they know it. They feel better and better all the time. They feel more and more heavenly, godly all the time.
Yes, that's true.
Because they practice the method to unite with themselves, God's self.
Yes, Master.
So it's good. I also read somewhere that presidency somehow rebuked Putin.
Yes.
Because the way he does is not capitalism and not communism, nothing. Just terrorism.
That's right. Yes.
And it makes a very, very bad name for communist countries.
Yes, that's true.
Many other communist followers or the ones who like the communism theory look upon those elders like Russia, China, etc. And now they feel very, very bad reputation.
Yes, exactly. That's true.
No matter how good communism is, the way Putin does things to Ukraine really brought down communism, the communistic faith of the people.
Yes, that's right.
It's terrible, terrible. I don't care if communist or not communist, if people are happy and have peace to go on with their normal, simple, humble life, that's all people want.
Yes, that's right.
But the way Putin does it, not just Ukraine now, but many other countries before that.
Yeah.
And after Ukraine, there will be more countries being harassed, molested, and tortured like in Ukraine, just for him to get some piece of it. He can't just leave people alone and let them feel peace or let them have their own country to do their own business.
Yes, Master.
It seems like there's such aggression. There's a warlike quality inside. It cannot be human.
Yes, Master.
It can only be a demon inside who drives him to do this.
Exactly.
I told you it's just a possessed body. It's not Putin.
All right. Yes.
And now you believe me or not?
Yes, Master, definitely. It's pure evil.
Even if you don't see the devil around him or within him, you see his actions and you can believe me that I won't lie to you, to anyone.
Right.
It's true like that. And it makes me suffer so much. I also became homeless, like a homeless person.
Yeah,
have to keep changing places because of security reasons.
Yeah, oh, Master.
Yeah. I'm just like a refugee now myself, like all the refugee people, even though I don't have to be.
Master.
All this fear in the world, all this oppressed energy and frightful energy, sometimes it's too overwhelming for me even to deal with.
Yes. Oh.
It just feels very strong and heavy.
Oh, Master.
Imagine how other people themselves also feel. I feel just like them.
Oh.
I feel just like they do, except, for example, that I'm not in Ukraine and hearing all this bombing or running any time with the missiles bombing on their head or nearby or anything like that. But the feeling is very much similar to how they feel.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Smoke billows from the rubble as rescuers continue to search for survivors in the Ukrainian city of Dnipro. Emergency teams had worked through the night in the cold and dark, sifting through the debris of an apartment block that was destroyed by a Russian missile. Some people were pulled out alive, some were badly injured. Among the dead was a 15-year-old girl. Emergency workers tried to console one woman who'd lost her son.
What have you done to my son? You cowards! I'll curse you forever. Let the whole world curse you.
Я просто в шоке был. Я никогда такого не видел, даже никогда не думал, что может прилететь в мой дом. Просыпаюсь, слышу взрыв, потом я выхожу, смотрю в окно, и просто огромное облако дыма. Я думал, что у меня просто полдома снесло. Я через полчаса собрался, выхожу во двор, просто люди кричат, дети, женщины, окровавленные люди вообще выходят, полиция везде.
The missile strike was part of a wave of Russian attacks across Ukraine on Saturday that officials said targeted power infrastructure. In a village near Kyiv, one missile landed near this man's house. Elsewhere in the capital, people took shelter after a series of explosions, while cities including Kharkiv and Lviv were plunged into darkness.
I'm just too sensitive. I cry for the suffering of the animal people and the humans. I cannot help it.
Right, Master.
Because I'm them.
Yes, Master.
I don't feel any separation from any humans or any beings or trees or even flowers.
Yes.
That's why I don't pluck flowers anymore, and I don't let any of the so-called disciples offer fresh flowers to me anymore.
Yes,
you know?
Master, that's right, yes.
For decoration, just use fabric flowers even.
Yes.
And the vegetable we eat, this is the minimum that we have to use just to survive, to continue the work.
Right.
Every day, before I eat, I pray. I pray for their sake, and I thank God and all involved. I thank all the masters that have given me the merit to eat that food.
Yes, Master.
Yeah. Anything else that you have studied, read?
Yes, some other news that Boris Johnson has been urged to return as Prime Minister for the sake of Britain and her people.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's encouraging.
It is. Yes. Yeah, that poor guy. I don't know if he even wants to come back. I just remember one of the clips that they made public about him and his so-called whatever birthday party. Yeah.
Yes.
I saw him standing in one corner, a little far from all his people, for his staff that made a party for him. He stayed in one corner with a plastic ball or paper ball,
right.
in which there was a piece of cake.
Yes.
And he was holding on to it. He was holding it and talking to his staff. And I felt, my God, how can people even fire a guy like this? Just a plastic ball with a piece of cake in it.
Yes.
Up to now, I still remember that image, and I feel so sorry for him. He's so humble.
Yes, Master.
I don't see any air of arrogance or a power conscious person in that image to me.
Yeah, that's right.
I just feel, my God, he's so humble. He accepts a piece of cake in a disposable bowl, small one, in his hand, and standing in the corner talking to his people, thanking them.
Yes.
In the old times, a prime minister is just second to a king.
Wow, yeah.
In those monarchy kind of systems in the old times, he would be respected or admired or feared by the whole country's citizens.
Yes. Wow.
Second to the king only. And the power was immeasurable when you were a prime minister from the old time.
Right. Yes.
And not to stand in a corner with a disposable ball in his hand like that and talk. This shaved hair and everything.
Yeah.
They were even making fun of his hair, but I think he's just maybe cutting himself or tell the person to do whatever, just to make it short so that he can go back to work. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Short so that it's easy to wash and comb.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like he's a pretentious person or power-conscious being or anything as a prime minister.
Not at all. That's right.
I don't feel any ego from him at all.
Yes, Master.
So this is the person who is worthy to be prime minister. Yeah.
Yes, Master.
I feel this aura of goodness from him. You don't always see that from other leaders. I don't want to name names. Yeah.
Yes.
For any other leaders, it's very difficult, very hard to find a person of great power, but still has a good aura and the aura and the energy of goodness.
Yes,
Yeah?
Master. Yes,
Yeah.
right.
So whenever I remember the image of him standing in the corner with a disposable small bowl with a piece of cake in it, I feel so sorry. I wouldn't bother coming back myself. But as I said to you guys before, I think he should stay. Before he resign, yeah, I say he should stay for his country, no matter how difficult the job is. But they wanted him out, so he's out. And now they want him back so desperately. I don't know if he can or if he will or if he wants to.
Right.
Whatever, good luck to Britain. And good luck to him in whatever he wants to do.
Yes,
That's all I can say, yeah? Mm.
Yes, Master. Thank
But
you.
I can't shake off this image of him standing in the corner with a disposable small bowl with a piece of birthday cake in it. And talking smilingly to his staff.
Yeah.
And it was there just some minutes with them to thank them and to appreciate their kindness. To remember his birthday even. I'm not sure if he remembered his birthday that day. Let alone told them to make a party for him. No, I don't think he wanted that party or cared to have it or anything. Normally.
That's right.
I can believe that. He might not even remember his birthday, being too busy,
Yes.
If Boris Johnson comes back to be Prime Minister or not, that's up to the party and the people of England.
Yes, that's right.
Up to also their karma, whether or not they are good enough to have him back.
Yeah, that's true.
It's their loss, not his loss.
Yes, exactly.
He doesn't even need to be Prime Minister to live well.
Yeah.
People donated a house for him and donated some money for the party for him to live well. In 6 weeks alone, after he left the office of 10 Downing Street,
Yes.
he gave only maybe, I think, 4 speeches, and he earned 1 million of that.
Wow.
Even there's no need. People still respect him and
Yes.
call him and need him or help him in many different ways.
Yes.
He doesn't need to be a prime minister to survive. That's what I meant.
Right, that's true.
A petition launched by the website Conservative Post to return Boris Johnson to number 10 has received 10,000 signatures.
Yep, and some of Liz Truss's MPs, including the former Culture Secretary Nadine Dorries, say that they really would like him to come back. Well, joining us now to discuss this is former Tory MEP David Campbell-Bannerman, who thinks that Boris is the only credible alternative.
Boris delivered Brexit. He's very popular still amongst members. 2/3 of members would have him back. And all the polls show that the public still like Boris. I think he's a great asset to the party. There is still an enormous amount of support for him. He won a fantastic, an 80-seat majority, the largest since 1987. He went to the public. No one else has gone to the public.
Do you even know if Boris wants to come back? I mean, everything that we hear, sort of, behind the scenes is he wants to stay in America.
Well, he's doing very well. He's earned twice his prime ministerial salary in one speech of half an hour, apparently, in America.
So why on earth would he want to come back to this charnel
because he
house?
wants to serve. I think Boris wants to serve.
I think he's the best bet. But, Boris needs to be coaxed back. He's not demanding to be put back at number 10. We need to encourage him to do that. Boris is an electoral winner, dynamite, and there's nobody on, nobody could have won the mayoralty in 2012 when I served in the second term. No one could have beaten Ken Livingstone that time with the polls as they were nationally, except Boris. He's a remarkable politician. That nobody could have secured an 80-seat, a whopping 80-seat majority, but Boris. We're talking about, if we talk, use the boxing analogy, he's the person that secured that mandate. Here's someone with a force for good that will bring real power and electoral clout.
So it's up to him to come back to Downing Street or not. But I have told you already, that place, they should have changed address. Yes. But it's too inconvenient maybe, and so used to it already. And it's not easy to move an office with so many employees, I guess.
Yes.
But why not? Why not? If it's good for the country, they should have moved.
That's true.
I told you it has a hell road in
yes,
it.
You did.
And whenever the karma is heavy, from the world or from the country or from the surroundings, the devils are allowed to open that gate of the road and come up and stir up problems. Even without any problems, they can bring problems.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise, how can the Prime Minister get fired just for eating a cake?
Yes.
A piece of birthday cake.
Yes, that's true.
And even in the lockdown time, they're all working together in the same office.
Yes.
It's not like a complete lockdown the way you had to be locked down. And nowadays, everywhere there's no lockdown anymore anyway, so they didn't really do anything wrong.
Yes.
But he got kicked out just because of that, and maybe some other little problem somewhere, which is not his fault.
Yeah, that's right.
It's nobody's fault.
Yes, Master.
Life sometimes has some little mistakes here and there and some, unfit situations. But it doesn't harm anybody. It's not killing anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not bribery or corruption. Nothing like that.
Yes.
Just some little petty things. So if you don't believe me that Downing Street has, a hell road, now you should believe it.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. It makes sense.
The Prime Minister got kicked out of office and many resigned just for that piece of birthday cake. My God, there's no humanity for government officials or what?
Yes.
Oh, terrible. My God, his birthday is only once a year and he's the Prime Minister of Great Britain.
Yeah.
What kind of freedom does the country uphold?
Yes, true.
Maybe it's bad, okay, fine him, fine a few £1,000 or something.
Yeah.
Can't just fire a prime minister because he eats his cake, because some people surprise him with his cake for a birthday once a year. My goodness.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous anyway.
It is. Absolutely.
No one can believe that. They make many other excuses, like one of his employees is maybe gay and touch somebody else or something. Or, my God, you are an adult, man. You could tell that guy off yourself.
Yes, you can.
Say, hey, don't touch my butt.
Hands off. Yeah.
Hands off. You wear it off. You wear off my butt. Get lost, man. What is the use? What's the point of firing a prime minister? Even just because of part of that.
Yes.
He didn't touch you. He didn't even see it.
Yeah.
Whatever crime has to have evidence in order to charge it in the court,
true.
right?
Yes.
And you all know, you big people, you can even tell that person off, or if you are so angry, just slap his wrist. Whatever hand touch you, you just slap it, nah?
Yes.
My God, Oh, man. It's not like they're 5 or 2 years old in kindergarten or something.
That's right.
It's such a little thing and they make it into a big deal like that.
Yes.
Okay, any other things?
Yeah, there was one other thing. Somewhere it's written that people should not hug their dog people.
Oh, this is sensitive. Of course. Everybody hugs their dog people when they love them.
Yeah.
When they come home from work, they feel they need their love, they need their welcome. And it's just instinct,
Yes, exactly.
But the thing is, they have done some research and they found that many bacteria, E. coli and other stuff, are carried in the paws of the dog people going in the house.
Oh, wow.
Because the dog people's paw has some gap in between the toes.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. And if they walk alongside the street, walk out, do their business, then they sometimes step on their own poo pee or other dog people's poo pee. And other dog people may be sick and have whatever bacteria with them. They found a lot of bacteria on the dog people's paws.
The dirty dog paw results are in. Time to reveal the details. Kevin, your retriever, has 10 different types of bacteria and 2 types of fungus. Sashi, your poodle, has 6 different types of bacteria and 1 fungus. And Charlie, the poodle, 8 types of bacteria and 1 fungus. And guess what? All of your dogs had E. coli.
Oh my God, they slept next to me last night.
We also had to break the news to Shauna. For Scotty,
this guy,
we found 7 different types of bacteria and 1 fungus, including a really bad bug that can cause pneumonia, meningitis, and urinary tract infections.
Okay, that's not good.
That's not good
at all.
Oh, and it gets worse. Sweet little angel here.
Okay.
This sweet little face, this sweet little
Okay,
angel.
tell me.
6 different types of bacteria.
Okay.
Including E. coli.
And also, dog people don't really like hugging. The dog people told me that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they also told some of the communicators, the dogs don't really like hugging. Most dogs don't like hugging, because they're different from us.
Wow.
But even humans, not many humans like to be hugged.
Yeah, that's also true.
If you hug your dog, people, you have to pay for the consequences then, Otherwise, try to wash them well, wash their paws with warm water and dry them before they step into the house and wipe them with a vinegar solution like 40% vinegar, 60% water, and wipe where the dog people walk inside your door before they clean them. Wipe it all and then wash the dog people's paws with warm water and wipe them with vinegar solution or maybe wipe them with baby wipes, But you still need to wipe it with warm water afterwards. If the dog's paw is more wet or if you wipe them with baby wipes or something, you have to wipe them again afterwards with warm water. Otherwise, I don't know if the chemicals from these things are good for dog people or not. I don't think it is good. So just wipe with vinegar solution and wash their paws with warm water. If you cannot leave your dog people to sleep alone and you like to sleep with them, then you must do that. Otherwise, dogs don't like to be hugged. Okay,
Right.
because their nature is to be always on the lookout. Their nature is anxious. They look out for themselves. They don't like to be confined, even in your warm embrace. They feel restricted and then they want to run.
Oh.
And if they have to control themselves not to run with anxiety within their being, then after a while they feel sick.
Oh, wow.
They might feel pain and aches in their joints, not well in their mental makeup, in their mental feeling every day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Maybe some dog people are used to it. I'm not sure if all the dogs are the same or not.
Okay, Master. Thank you.
Scientists are suggesting that dogs don't want our well-meaning hugs. Experts from the Kennel Club have voiced their opinions on this matter. They believe that behaving as though our pets were children is inappropriate because, unlike kids, dogs don't like to be hugged. The Kennel Club's Caroline Kisko explains. Dogs are often considered part of the family. However, they're not human and may therefore react differently to certain interactions, such as hugging. Senior canine behaviorist Claire Matthews stated, "A hug might be a normal social greeting for humans, but it isn't for a dog. Subtle stress signals can be missed when you're hugging your pet, and this could lead to a negative reaction. So it's about recognizing when your dog is uncomfortable." Dr. Stanley Corn has even gone so far as to study dogs and their reactions to hugging. His expertise comes from being a canine behavior expert and a professor of psychology at the University of British Columbia. He looked at 250 pictures of dogs being hugged and their reactions to draw his conclusions. 8 out of 10 of these pets showed signs of stress which suggest a dislike or fear of hugs. These signs include flattened or pressed back ears, whites of their eyes showing, head turning away to avoid eye contact, excessive licking, yawning, or raising one paw.
If I put my arms around my dog and start to hug him, and I see him licking his lips, I see him pulling away, I see him yawning, I see him looking away from me, trying to avoid eye contact, these are all signs that my dog is saying, I don't like what's going on. And that then means my dog doesn't enjoy being hugged, and it does cause him stress. I give him a hug, and now let's see what happens. He's growling, okay? Huge warning sign. He's telling me very clearly that he doesn't like what I'm doing. I'm gonna hug him again. He's growling, he's telling me, I don't like what you're doing. And he's yawning and he licked his lips.
Dogs are technically designed for swift running. That implies that in times of stress or threat, the first line of defense that a dog uses is not his teeth, but rather his ability to run away. He then adds, behaviorists believe that depriving a dog of that course of action by immobilizing him with a hug can increase his stress level, and if the dog's anxiety becomes significantly intense, he may bite. Dr. Corn's advice: save your hugs for your two-footed family members and lovers. Additionally, he explains, it's clearly better from the dog's point of view if you express your fondness for your pet with a pat, a kind word, or maybe a treat.
I have one dog, a little dog. I have many dogs, right? But there are some little dogs. I can't help it, but I like to hug them, in my arms and carry them on my shoulder, but they always want to run out.
Oh.
To run away, like struggle to escape from the embrace, even though I have had them from when they were little. Yeah, from like a couple months old already.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Sometimes they tolerate for a while, but I can feel their struggle, Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't hug them that much. Even if I do, it's just a quick second.
Yes.
Just one quick boop, and then kiss on the forehead. Hello, like that.
Yes.
But their soccer owners have to feel how the dog people feel and what they like or not like. If they need to hug them, very quick.
Yes.
Yeah. Less than a second.
Wow.
Just quick, very quick, and then let them go. Otherwise, it's too stressful. But there's no need to always hug them. You can sit nearby and touch their neck, scratch their neck, or rub their tum-tum.
Yes.
Or just say hello and I love you. I'm glad to see you. You're beautiful, or you are handsome. You make me feel happy. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for trusting me. That's what I said to my dogs. All the time. Whenever I see them.
Nice.
I love you. Good girl you are. Girl, you beautiful girl you. Love you. You don't have to force them to hug or have to bear your constricting kind of cobra embrace. Yeah, it's restricting because they're smaller than you, and when you hug them, you cover them all over.
Ah, that's true.
Their face and everything will be buried, and it could be a suffocated feeling.
Yes. Right, yes.
Their instinct is to be natural, free.
Yes, Master.
Only because they love us, so they want to stay with us, but to have some respect for their free space.
Yes, Master.
If the dog people want to hug you, you can hug them, but if they don't, then just leave them in peace and love them. Love doesn't have to always be physical, okay?
That's true.
Our humble appreciation for Merciful Master's loving devotion and efforts to aid our world in these current testing times. Your immense empathy for all beings touches us deeply and helps enlighten us. We pray that the spread of peace and benevolence transforms the vulnerable state of humanity as rapidly as possible, reminding us of our true purpose to worship and seek oneness with God. Let us also support the good and virtuous people in leadership positions so that they fulfill their important contribution of championing a more harmonious existence. May Courageous Master be always well and safe in serene surroundings with the protection of all heavenly divinities. To hear more about Supreme Master Ching Hai's vegan daily life and to learn what the consequences are for those who wrongly accuse an innocent spiritual practitioner, please tune in on Tuesday, January 31st, 2023 on Between Master and Disciples for the full broadcast of this phone call. Also, for your reference, please check out the previous related Between Master and Disciples conferences, such as Purify Yourself and Worship Only God. God will forgive us if we forgive others. Heavens assist those on the benevolent vegan path. The UK must follow its laws and protect animal people as sentient beings. Last call to turn vegan and repent sincerely, etc. To view these and more Between Master and Disciples conferences, all free for download, please visit suprememastertv.com and search for Go in the Direction of Peace.